Welcome to In Pursuit of Truth. This is your host, Sir Patrick Mac. Hey, Patriots, where my dogs at? That's what I'm talking about. John, can I get a woof woof?
Woof, woof.
Yeah. Once again, we're talking about dogs, interestingly enough. I'm over here on the Twitter of me. My Twitter. I'm on my Twitter. More dogs, this time from Eric Smallville. And no, that wasn't meant to be a reference to Allison Mack, although Allison Mack was on Smallville. I was just calling Eric Swalwell Eric Smallville. No, yep. Anyway, let's see what Eric Swalwell has to say. Help Penny get to the White House with your pennies. Oh, I get it. It's a play on words. All it takes is $1 to get us out of these rough times, because dogs say rough. There you go. And there's Penny right there. Looking happy, pretty sweet looking dog there. Interesting red leash on Penny. Well, help Penny to get to the White House. That seems like a pretty good cause. So let's follow that little Linky McLinkington right there. And it takes you to Eric Swalwell as of actblue.com. Donate to Eric Swalwell. Your contribution will benefit Eric Swalwell. Oh, wait a minute. I was under the impression that we were going to get Penny to the White House. We're getting Eric Swalwell to the White House. Oh, I get it. Because if we get Eric Swalwell to the White House, then Penny gets to come too. I get it. I feel a little misled, but I get it. Well, Eric is running for president to fight like hell for the American dream. But he can't do it alone. He isn't taking any corporate PAC money and needs help from regular Americans like you. Yeah. They don't really do much of that anymore because they know we're watching. Will you join us? And here are some of the rules here. You got to be a U.S. citizen or at least have a green card. Fair enough, I guess. So there you go. Contributions to Swalwell for America are not tax deductible. So you get to lose twice. And the site that Smallville is working off of here is called ActBlue. This is secure.actblue.com. And as you can see, there's a ton of money getting raised. As we speak, you're watching it live. Flexible and free fundraising tools to harness the power of grassroots. Sounds nice. Well, check this out. ActBlue has had 6,700,411 Democratic donors have saved their payment information with us via an ActBlue Express account. I see. So this site is kind of only for Democrats. So you want to be inclusive, but we only want the inclusive people. Everyone else can pound sand. This is one of their choices right here. Gnarl. Pro-choice America, unless of course you're a baby, then it's not really your choice. But anyway, that's a different story. So you see what's up. This seems to be some sort of Democratic fundraiser site. Fair enough, not illegal, but it looks like Eric Smallville has tossed his hat into the game and he needs your help. Now, if you want to get a little bit of background as to why we are talking about dogs today, I suggest you watch my video from May 8th, and it looks like this right here. And it's entitled Very Good Boy. In Pursuit of Truth presents. Once again, this is dated on the 8th. Please check this out. This will give you a little bit of background information. But to sum it up briefly, we've been analyzing a lot of tweets over the last few months, actually probably a little bit more, from people like James Comey, Kamala Harris, Dances with Wolves, Warren, No Name McCain, all sorts of cryptic dog tweets, right? Now, are these people just talking about their dogs because they're dog lovers like Sir Patrick Mac? Could very well be. Or is this all a dog whistle for something else? Well, anybody who's in the know knows that Elizabeth Dances with Wolves Warren is not to be outdone. She posted this the other day on the 24th. Bailey was a bad boy this morning, but at least he's sorry. He does look sorry. He looks all sad. He's like, I'm so sorry that I knocked over all this fluffy stuff on the carpet. I'm sorry. I'm a bad boy. That's funny, though, because just weeks ago, he was a good boy. He wasn't just a good boy. He was a very good boy. Hence the title of my video. Hint, hint. All right, so Bailey's showing up on Twitter again. Bailey was a bad boy. And funny enough, this happened right around the time we had Representative Jerrold Nadler have his little episode on TV. And if you haven't seen that from the other day on the 24th, you'll know that he fainted in front of a press conference. They were talking about speed cameras, and he had himself a little episode, and we broke that down in a couple videos ago. But we're not talking about that today. But could this be a reference to something that may have happened to Jerrold Nadler? Not really sure, but either way, Bailey was a bad boy. Now, let's be fair to Bailey. We can't just call him categorically a bad boy, right? Sometimes he might even be a good boy. Sometimes he might even be a very good boy. Here's a tweet from May 1st from Dances with Woes. Since today is Bailey's birthday, here's a little something to celebrate. Our team has Bailey-themed bandanas and a lot more at our online store. And if you'll notice right there, you can use the code GOODBOY for 20% off. Sweet, you can grab yourself a red leash or, oddly enough, a red handkerchief. Wow, how about that? A red handkerchief. Where have I seen that before? Well, look, Elizabeth Warren had herself another tweet on May 1st, from what I remember, in which she actually called Bailey a very good boy. As a matter of fact, she capitalized very good and boy, which is what kind of kicked this whole thing off for me when I first saw that tweet. Now, that tweet doesn't seem to be around anymore. However, I got you, fam, because like I said, I already made a video on this. And so there's a screenshot from it there, and you can see very good boy is capitalized. Now, I've been sitting on this little bit of information for quite a bit, and now that it seems relevant, I want to bring it up again. And some of you Anons have sent this to me also, meaning that it looks like great minds think alike, right? This is the Virginia Graham-Baker Pool and Spa Safety Act. The Virginia Graham-Baker Pool and Spa Safety Act, the law which founded the Pool Safely Campaign, takes its name from Virginia Graham-Baker, a 7-year-old girl who drowned after she was trapped underwater by the powerful suction from a hot tub drain. Okay, well, that's an awful story, right? And why would I be bringing this up? Well, I noticed that Virginia Graham-Baker, VGB, otherwise known as very good boy. Well, what would this accident about a 7-year-old girl have anything to do with Bailey, who's a very good boy? After all, this girl was killed from a hot tub drain. Well, it's probably just a coincidence that that's the same exact way that John McCain's dog just recently died. This was from the 6th, just a few days after the very good boy tweet. And this dog was named Burma. This dog, Burma, seems to be a water dog. It's weird. She's never done this before. She ran into a pipe. You know, we have a series of ponds on our property, and she ran into the pipe and she got stuck. McCain said she drowned, and eventually her body came out the other end of the pipe. Okay, so she got stuck, so she couldn't get in the pipe, but eventually she came out the other end of the pipe. Okay, well, I'm sure that's completely just coincidental, right? And I'm sure that it's also completely coincidental that just days after this, we also had a couple of crashes in Myanmar, which used to be called Burma. Yeah, we had not one, but two. And they were essentially these incidents where they had kind of skidded off the runway. It was a wet runway, whatnot. But there were, like I said, not one, but two plane crashes. And I'm sure that it's also coincidental that right around this time we had our journalists that were being held captive in Myanmar had been released. And this was an issue that, oddly enough, was taken up by one John McCain. Now let me take you to something that's probably completely unrelated. This was a POTUS tweet from just some hours ago. Super predator was the term associated with the 1994 crime bill that sleepy Joe Biden was so heavily involved in passing. That was a dark period in American history, but has Sleepy Joe apologized? No! Super predator. Feels like I've heard that term before. Got a flashback of signs, yeah, take you back, yeah. Taking you back to January 28th, 2018. 12 minutes and 12 seconds after the hour 8. How about that? Post 641, where Q had given us this YouTube link right here. And this was a C-SPAN link to 1996 campaign video from Hillary Clinton, where she was talking about immigration. And she used the term super predators. Now, I'm not going to put you through the pain of that video right there, but that's what that was. Super predator. And then we had, quote, bring them to heel. And of course, that was part of one of her famous parts of that speech right there. Define heel. Well, I suppose you could be talking about the heel of your foot or the healing of a dog. Follow closely behind its owner. Well, it seems to me one way to teach a dog to heel would be to use a proper leash. And don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, Penny has got a proper leash. Yep, a proper red one right there. So in case Penny ever gets to the White House, she'll know how to heel, just like her owner. Yep. Anyway, find it very odd that they used the choice of red. And as I showed you earlier in the video, Dances with Wolves Warren, she was also selling red leashes. Now, I'm sure that's not nefarious on its own, of course. She was also selling red scarves. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because red scarves have been connected to some high-profile murders, especially in the last couple years. You may remember one particular designer by the name of Kate Spade, who was found dead hanging by a red scarf. And if you'll also remember, in the following days, her husband Andy Spade was found out in town wearing this oh, I wish I could remember the name of the movie mask. It's a mouse. And it's one of those Disney movies, The Adventurers or something like that. Not the one named Ratatouille, but the one with the mouse. I don't remember. The Rescuers, that's what it was. And was also wearing a red scarf. Now, you could also go back to Alexander McQueen, another fashionista who was found dead hanging by a scarf. And of course, Lorenz Scott, who used to be married to Mick Jagger, also found dead wearing a scarf. So are we targeting somebody here? Is there some significance to this red scarfiness? Does this have something to do with our dog leashes? You tell me. And lo and behold, looks like Tom Hanks is also getting in on the red scarfiness. This was a tweet from the 13th of May. Wrap gifts, Hanks kerchiefs. That's clever. That's a play on words. Bespoke, perfection, and gorgeous. Colin Hanks knows his kerchiefs. Hanks. Yeah, there it is right there. There's your red scarf Hanks kerchief. So freaking clever. Oddly enough, this tweet was put out right around the time as all of these different dog tweets were going around. Also, if you'll remember, this was right around the time we lost actor Isaac Cappy. And if you followed some of my past videos, you know that they had themselves a little history. Now, we're not going to talk about their tweets, but they definitely were connected. Isaac Cappy trying to call out Tom Hanks as a pedophile. Now, obviously, none of that has been proven yet, but we've got some pretty interesting tweets coming from Tom Hanks, including this red Hanks kerchief. Well, it looks like Bailey's not the only dog in this fight. We had a post from Sully H.W. Bush. Yeah, the service dog for George H.W. And of course, George H.W. was also related to some weird dog tweets. I suggest you go back and watch my May 8th video. Anyway, Sully H.W. Bush. Each of the patriots whom we remember on this day was first a beloved son or daughter, a brother or sister, or a spouse, friend, and neighbor. George H.W. Bush. Always thinking of my best friend and the bravest military in the world who made the ultimate sacrifice while defending our country for our freedoms. And finally, let me leave you with this. You may remember this story. This is from Inside Edition's YouTube. I'm not going to play you the video. I just wanted to show you the screenshot. But this happened in late May, and we had this RV chase through the streets of Los Angeles. It was this massive soup sandwich that got to get televised. And of course, as this was cruising through the streets, the whole thing was totaled, as you can see right there in the picture. Evidently, this woman, Julianne Rainbird, who ended up getting caught, and she had stolen this RV, and she had also stolen a couple of dogs. That's funny. I hear that Isaac Cappy owned a couple of dogs. Wasn't Isaac Cappy talking about Tom Hanks? And didn't Tom Hanks post this picture of his Hanks kerchief with a picture of a RV in the back? Well, I don't know what all this dog talk is, and I might be barking up the wrong tree, but I guarantee you this, ladies and gentlemen, I'll remain in the dogged pursuit of the truth. Now, in regards to Eric Swalwell's dog, Penny, there were a lot of people theorizing that there might be some significance to the name Penny. Maybe it was a reference to Mike Pence. I'm not really sure, but I want to toss this out here just for the sake of fun. We're on AmericanMilitaryNews.com, the meaning behind the tradition of leaving coins on veterans' gravestones. For those who have visited grave sites of U.S. veterans, you may have noticed coins on top of headstones that were left behind by previous visitors. A coin left on the headstone is a message to the deceased veteran's family that someone has visited their grave and paid their respects. Each type of coin left on the top of the headstone for the veteran has its own meaning. A penny left on the top of the headstone means that the grave site was visited. A nickel indicates that the person visiting the site trained at boot camp with the deceased veteran, while a dime means the person served with them in some capacity. A quarter left at the grave means that the person who left the coin was with the veteran when they were killed. Well, all I know is that every penny on Eric Swalwell's site seems to go right to Eric Swalwell. And I want to point out too that all that stuff with the happy birthday wishes to our very good boy Bailey, that was also essentially going to Elizabeth Warren. So this may very well be a call out to get some funding for some of their knuckleheadedry. All right, kids, that's all I got for you for now. As always, if you like this video, please click like, share, and subscribe. Thanks to all of you who do that already. I greatly appreciate it. And if you're new around here, welcome to you. Please keep in mind that from time to time, you will get unclicked and unnotified and unsubscribed. That's just the way it goes. Just do me a favor. Check back, type in IPOT, and hopefully you'll find me. Re-click yourself, resubscribe yourself, re-notify yourself. Do what you got to do to keep us together. My alternate links are down below. My Gab, my BitChute, my Real.video, and of course, I'm over here at Twitter at IPOT1776. That's IPOT1776. If you want to email me, my email link is down below in the video description. If you'd like to send something old school, I've got a P.O. box there as well. And if you'd like to support the channel, my Patreon link is down below. All those links are down below. All right, kids, this is Sir Patrick Mack, and until next time, stay safe.